So before I answer this specific question, let me give you a few pointers. First is that why co-lending as a policy measure has arrived in first in 2018 and then revised in 2020. So if you look at last 2 decades of evolution of NBFCs in India, it has come to it is very clear that when it comes to serving the market which are underserved, whether it is microfinance, whether it is MSME, whether it is second-hand truck, whether it is second-hand two-wheeler businesses, NBFCs have been able to demonstrate capability to reach the customer, service the customer, and collect the loan. It is in no manner because I don't think so that NBFCs have physical strength or capital power wherein they can be superior to banks. That's not true. It is just a matter of fact that banks have been in existence for hundreds of years, whether private sector or public sector. They have certain established practice, and those practices don't change overnight. Simultaneously, banks also have much wider mandate in which they have to execute. And that's why in last decade, and especially pre-ILFS, one way of dissemination of credit where bank used to lend to NBFC for NBFCs to onward lend to these underserved segment. And that was considered to be a very good model.
So,
Unfortunately, because of certain incidents, whether it is ILFS or DHFL, what came later in code while banks were lending to these NBFCs, but the money was also simultaneously going for other purposes, which was never envisaged. And banks finally found that they have given X 5,000 crore loan to a company, rather than that loan going to the underserved market, went to a large real estate player and so on and so forth. And that actually started this, that our banks being used, because it's very hard for a bank to, when they analyze for a term loan purpose in NBFC, they look at the broad parameter, the capital adequacy, the gross NPA and all of that. But it is very hard at that point of time for bank in a term loan environment to go and do much deeper diligence. And from that point, it came that given there are two constructs, there is a front end capacity of NBFC to go originate in service then underserved market. Over a long period of time, banks would also build that capability. But the liquidity, so today we have in excess of 6 lakh crore excess liquidity in the bank. Liquidity is available into the bank. So there has to be a bridge through which this liquidity can be utilized by NBFCs without banks running the risk of that money being siphoned off or utilized somewhere else. And that's why the whole concept of co-lending came, wherein it was said that the bank should have ability to look at every underlying customer, underwrite it, and then should be able to co-lend alongside with the NBFC. So that's the broad concept. Second, I think so generally it is perceived, and I hear this all the time, that the co-lending has not taken off. It is very cumbersome. It takes a lot of time. I agree. Fact is that from 2018, so we are 2021, not more than, we don't even have 100 crore portfolio across the industry on co-lending. But please remember, these are transformative steps which regulator, banks and NBFCs are taking. Think of a scenario when the microfinance started and how many number of years it took for microfinance industry to get stabilized and start generating liability for them. Look at US, I have been in conversation with some of the largest players, Cabbage, On Deck. It has taken each one of them in their initial formative stage 3 years to 5 years to generate liquidity lines through similar model, not exactly as our co-lending. So given that the transformative nature of this, I don't think so that the time it is taking to get stabilized is a major hurdle. And in contrast of these two, I am of the firm belief. We started Ugro in mid of 2018, and day one of our liability pillar was that we will build a very strong co-lending business model. So we said the previous era wherein you used to lever NBFC balance sheet 7 times, have an asset liability mismatch and generate an ROE of 20%, get valued at 5 times is completely gone. That is not going to come back. The only way NBFCs or fintech can survive is to keep very low leverage on their balance sheet and generate liquidity through co-lending model. So that is here to stay. And that's why from 2018 itself, we have been working very hard to make the model successful. The revised guideline of the model And I think so there are two parts of it. And as Mr. Tuli very rightly said, that and any regulation takes time to evolve, but there are two parts to it. One of the biggest hurdle into the partnership or the co-lending between bank and NBFC is the customer experience. And when customers of NBFC need money as of yesterday, if it's an SME or it's a, he can't wait for 10, 15, 20-month period. And the process has to be very efficient. Second, the method of underwriting. NBFCs underwrite in a completely different way. If suppose you are an MSME and you have a turnover of 1 crore, of which 50 lakh turnover doesn't show up in your balance sheet, but it comes to other modes, or you have a property which is of a different type, NBFC is over a period of time has built a methodology to assess even that cash flow. Now, if you put it into the bank framework, then it becomes difficult. But if you look at the revised circular of 2020, actually majority of these problems have been solved. As Mr. Tuli said, that you have now two models, an option A and option B. Option A is to my mind for banks and NBFC to execute that model. It still would be very difficult. That can be applied for large ticket loans, because in option A model, bank and NBFC have to jointly underwrite the case, jointly sanction the facility, and jointly disburse and take the collateral in joint name. But the process would become very elongated. So if you have to do a 25 crore plus ticket size, probably that would work. But actually the option B, if you look at, is a very efficient model. Option B, for everyone's clarity, is nothing but a direct assignment of portfolio without the minimum holding period. But the portfolio generated today and which is being assigned to the bank is as per an agreed common lending policy. So, Mr. Gupta, today we lend, we wait for 1 year period, we go and give that portfolio to bank, and banks buy that portfolio by doing the portfolio assessment. Right. The difference here being that immediately after you have lent, first your NBFC is to ensure that it is lending as per the common lending policy which has been agreed. And once the case has been disbursed, you take that case, give it to the bank, and bank has to make sure that the lending which has been done is as per the common lending policy which has been agreed. One of the biggest transformative change which I'm seeing from 2018 to 2020, the first circular, most of the banks, whether private sector and public sector, and we have experience from both. So I am of no opinion that private sector banks or public sector banks, there is an issue of efficiency. Both are more or less same. In the first circular, most banks said, here is my policy. You as a NBFC, please adopt this policy and go and lend on that basis. Now that's the whole core of the problem. If the bank's policy was executable on the ground, then banks can lend themselves for that segment of the market. But in this time, majority of the bank, and I can tell you the largest of the public sector bank and some of even the private sector bank, for the first time at the senior most level are saying, please bring your product and policy. We will try to adopt it as much as possible. Now, anyone to believe for a mega size public sector bank to immediately change their entire internal process, all of a sudden it is a difficult, but I can assure you that two of the largest public sector bank in India, we have seen that they are willing to adopt to our product and policy almost in totality. And that's why I genuinely think that if NBFCs have patience, if they genuinely believe this is the future, they invest in technology and people process, and they work diligently with the bank partners, this model would in India would work, wherein the origination, collection and servicing of customer would happen in the hands of the NBFC. The balance sheet would come from the banks, and banks would also remain protected from entity level defaults of the NBFC. So I think so that's the future, and I'm very, very convinced of it.